Another month, another list of brand new games that you're going to want to check out. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on GameRanx, the new games of July 2018. Number 10 is the Banner Saga 3, a tactical RPG, the third in the Banner Saga series, a very well-received series that I would definitely recommend checking out the previous games of. The previous games developed by a three-man indie team. Quite frankly, they are beautiful games. They're very interesting, taking place in a Viking-inspired world, not necessarily a historically accurate Viking world. Keep that in mind. It is a fantasy tactical RPG. As with the previous iterations of the series, it was a Kickstarted game, but at this point, it is a trilogy. They have a lot of experience under their belt. They're great games. If you like tactical RPGs in the vein of anything from like XCOM to Final Fantasy Tactics, it's worth a shot. It's going to be available on Windows, Mac OS, PS4, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox One on July 24th. Number 9 is No Man's Sky, a game that we talked a lot about when it came out. What ended up being a large amount of controversy over how they marketed this game and exactly what they delivered at launch compared to what they said they were going to, ended up over time kind of creating a pretty decent game. I'm not going to say that it's shockingly good or anything like that, but it's certainly become something that's worth putting time into. The ultimate idea is there is a procedurally generated universe, and you spend a bunch of time flying around in it. You can go from planet to planet, mine resources, craft items. You have to deal with drones from time to time now. And honestly, is it better than it was when it came out? Certainly. Absolutely. Like I said, it's actually worth putting time into now, and as long as you go in with an open mind, it's a good game. It's cool that Xbox players are getting a hold of it, which they will be on July 24th. Number 8 is Earthfall, a game that aims to be the Left 4 Dead of aliens. Now, I know that probably sounds oversimplified, but honestly, I don't see how that might even be a problem for them. I like Left 4 Dead, and I like alien invasions. I would love a co-op shooter that plays like Left 4 Dead for an alien invasion, and supposedly, the final version of this game, keep in mind it has been an early access game that's been received quite well, might I add, really does a lot, both in progression of story, as well as a variety of weapons, locations, and puzzles. And I'm just ready to have people over and play it, like now. Earthfall is coming to Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One on July 13th. I mean, you can already get it on early access on Steam, but the final release is July 13th. Number 7 is WarioWare Gold, which is a variety of mini-games that WarioWare classifies as micro-games. There's a large variety of some pretty interesting stuff, and a lot of the games that you see in WarioWare Gold are going to be ones that you've seen in previous games, like WarioWare Inc., WarioWare Twisted, WarioWare Touched, and a bunch of new games for a total of apparently 300 micro games. They do everything they can to make these games into interesting experiences too. It's not just pressing buttons. You may have to physically move the 3DS around itself, press the touchscreen, blow into the microphone even. I mean, these are fairly innovative ideas, and previous WarioWare games have been pretty fun. I'm excited to play it again. WarioWare Gold is coming late July to the 3DS. Number 6 is the Mega Man X Legacy Collection, which I am quite excited to get on my TV playing these games again without a bunch of hassle of hooking crap up. Seriously, it's been a long time since I've been able to play the entire Mega Man X series, and these are hard games that I really have to just say that I absolutely admire. They're such good platforming shooters, and I've kind of avoided doing because I've played them here and there, but to have all of the mainline Mega Man X games in one place, I am totally there. I mean, you're talking one of the best series of all time, spans the 16-bit era to the 32-bit era, and really, seriously, if you don't know what Mega Man is, then you definitely don't know what Mega Man X is. But these are hard action platformers that innovated that genre. If you like Cuphead or you like Celeste, even though there's no Mega Buster in Celeste, these are games that owe a lot to these games because the mechanics they added to the Mega Man formula here, you can see everywhere in a lot of different types of games at this point. Mega Man X Legacy Collection is coming to PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One on the 24th. Number 5 is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, which is a game that came out a ways back for the Wii U and, as such, did not get the kind of attention that it should. If you're familiar with Super Mario 3D World, there were some levels called The Adventures of Captain Toad that this was essentially branched off of. In a lot of ways, it's very similar to Super Mario 3D World, but revolves specifically around the mechanics of Toad. Captain Toad adds some extra mechanics in the form of a pickaxe and the ability to pull up plants like in Mario Bros. 2, the American version. And honestly, it's a really fun game that I think deserved a lot more attention, and I hope that it gets some this time around. It's coming to the Nintendo Switch and 3DS on July 13th. Number 4 is Sonic Mania Plus, and if you are a Sonic fan, Sonic Mania is the game, period. I mean, if you really love all the buggy, weird 3D games that didn't work and the few that did, it may be a bit weird for you, but if you go back to the 2D games, in my opinion, the superior games, I know that's a slightly controversial opinion, but it's my opinion, and I still do like the 3D games that worked. This is a return to the heyday. 2D level design, pretty much at its best. The creators of Sonic Mania Plus are all fan game artists who demonstrated a very clear understanding of exactly why Sonic was so good. They're adding things like Mighty the Armadillo to the Plus version, as well as giving it a physical release. We'll see that on Switch, PS4, and Xbox One on the 17th. Number 3 is Red Faction Guerrilla Re-Mars-tered Edition. If you are familiar with Red Faction Guerrilla, it's a game that was developed by the same people who made the Saints Row games, but it's a little bit reeled in. There's still some absurdity, but not on the same level of Saints Row, of course. It takes place on a mining colony on Mars. It's essentially a revolution against a corporate entity that has taken control of the planet, and you play the central figure of it. It is a fantastic game. I love Red Faction Guerrilla. It is so good in just every way. And the idea that there might actually be people playing the multiplayer makes me quite happy, because I recently tried to play the multiplayer on the original version. There was nobody there. Nobody there. This was one of those mid-tier games that I really feel like outdid the fact that it was a mid-tier game. And if you've never played this, like, you need to. It's really good. Give it a shot. It's coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One on the 3rd. Number 2 is Pool Panic, a game that really takes a novel approach at the pool mechanic, which is obviously hitting a cue ball with a stick. I know there's a right word for it, but I don't care. Essentially, there's a bunch of different games with different mechanics that all revolve around the specific basic pool mechanic. They seem to mainly be physics puzzles, but there's a whole bunch of them. And honestly, this is one of those games that looks so weird and yet so well put together and interesting that I can't wait to play it. I'm so there for this game. If it ends up being nearly as fun as it looks, I can see myself playing this a large amount and hoping for sequels. Pool Panic is coming to PC and Switch on the 19th. And finally, number 1 is Octopath Traveler. If you have played the free prologue that is currently available on the Switch store, you know it's a very traditional JRPG that looks amazing. They've taken pixel art, wrapped it around 3D environments, and it looks exactly like how I thought JRPGs would look when we entered the 3D realm. It's a fun game. Like, I'm really enjoying what I've done of it so far. I've done 3 out of the 8 characters you can start as. I've sort of gone a little ways in and restarted a few times just to see exactly what we're about to see. And honestly, I think it has potential to be one of the better JRPGs in a long time. It comes from the Bravely Default developers at Square Enix, and it makes perfect sense. It's a game that I can't believe hasn't happened already. It's coming to the Switch on the 13th, and I will absolutely be playing it. I can't wait to play Octopath Traveler in full. What are you looking forward to most in July? Leave us a comment, and if you like this video, click the like button. If you're not subscribed, of course, now would be a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week, and the best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription. As always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at FalconTheHero, and we'll see you next time right here on gameranx.